Alright guys, we're coming at you with a Caster Chronicles deck profile with Skylar here in his Ripple Burn deck.
Yeah, we'll call it that. Oh, don't show my face. So essentially starting off with it,
Yep.
the three most important casters you're playing are Shang Ignia. She makes all your face down casters red, which is actually super important for a lot of the creatures you play. I play 3 of McKay. You can tap her and put her on the bottom of your deck, and you can burn one of your opponent's orbs. It's actually really cool because you can actually do her twice in one turn at the beginning of your turn.
Yeah, you do. User effect goes to bottom, play another copy from your hand, use the effect.
Yeah. I'm only playing 2 Vega until I can get the ideal build that I want. She's essentially a 1-for-1. That's it for the important casters. The rest are more or less earnest fillers. 2 of each of Fianma and Raim. I don't really use Raim's effect, so I don't really know what it does. But I use Fianma to boost up my guys, as a worst case scenario when I need to get over someone. 1 Parawetta, 1 Shira, just red casters with extra names. Their effects occasionally come up. If I corrupt an orb with a servant, I can draw 1, and I can discard a caster and make my enemy discard a card. I play 3 orange casters. I play 2 Irie. In most Earnest decks, you'll see her in some number, but she lets you mill 3 to the grave. And the more Earnest you have is generally better.
Usually triggers their break abilities, amongst other things.
Yeah. And she actually has another cool effect where you can break one of your guys or sack one of your guys to get a different one back from grave.
Banish a servant, get 1 back from grave.
Yeah. And then 1 Terra, who is the most busted power up in the game, giving 1,000 attack for every Earnest in your grave.
Which Ari puts them in grave. Ari.
Yeah. For servants, I'm playing 3 Table Tennis and 2 Disembodied Souls for 1-drops. Table Tennis is an Earnest. It goes really well with getting an early deity on board. At least in red, an early deity is pretty solid. Unfortunately, it returns to hand at the end of the turn. Disembodied Soul at recommendation of someone else.
Smart guy.
Yeah. He's just a 1-drop that helps stay on board.
Better turn 1 than table tennis.
Yeah, a little bit. For 2-drops, I play 1 Basketball, 2 May. Basketball has a potential to get really big, but I only play 1 because it's searchable. And then May has a potential to be a break and be really big, but most of the time it's just used as a potential break.
It's a good body either way.
Yeah. For 3s, I'm playing 2 Patience Bag and 4 Swimming.
I like how the one says what break does, the other doesn't.
Well, one's from a starter deck.
Yeah.
So it's a guaranteed break, and Swimming, depending on how many red casters I have on the field, searches me a sports club with the same cost or lower. So it's fun because you can go swimming, search swimming, search swimming, search swimming.
Or tennis.
Table tennis, basketball. Late game, you can search soccer. Yeah. And again, it's an Earnest name. 3 copies of my win condition, most times.
It's a good promo card.
Yeah. If your opponent has no orbs, you summon her, activate her effect, you send her to grave, you win the game. She's really good because a lot of times I find myself not quite getting the last hit I need for game, and that's more or less what inspired this deck. Ideally, in my ideal build, I wouldn't play 4 of her, just because I have a tendency to brick.
Yeah, the goal is just to burn out their orbs and then finish them with Ripple.
Yeah, more or less. 3 tennis. She's a DCT 3 break. which is better than Gymnastics Club, who needs 7.
Oh, shots fired.
Unfortunately, by herself, she's a cost 4. But when she enters, she pops a servant with a cost equal to or lower than the amount of red casters I have, which again...
So she gets better the later the game goes.
Yeah, which again
Especially
falls
with
back
the,
on the
having
red...
multiple reds.
Yeah, the red switch. 4 Fire Wheel. It's a guaranteed break and pops something cost 3 or lower. It's really fun against Gymnastics Club when they start going off and then they hit Fire Wheel.
Unless they have ribbon.
Actually,
Just ignore the alarm that just went off there.
yeah, so the fun thing with Fire Wheel is I was actually playing against Gymnastics Club, and she had Hubris. She attacked with a Hubris, and I just popped it with a Fire Wheel. I was like, okay, have fun. 1 soccer. It's really big, destroys a bunch of stuff depending on how many red casters you have. It is destroy, servant.
All sports called gain double crowd is pretty good for DCT 7.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I almost never hit the 7.
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
And 2 copies of my backup win condition. It's a board wipe when it hits the field, so long as I have 1 Earnest in my grave. The 7 cost is honestly nothing because I can just bring it out with my deity because the deity can kill itself. For Conjurers, 3 Shining Metal to bring out my deity, and 3 Raging Flame counterattack, which is essentially
Removal?
Yeah, I was going to say Mirror Force.
It's Sakuretsu armor.
Yeah.
It's 1 card.
And then
3 copies. The show.
Yeah, exactly. 3 copies of Mars because I can. I don't have to play 3, but I pulled a 3rd, so I played a 3rd.
You got 3 of the spell. You may as well 3 Mars.
Yeah.
So this is pretty good for Skylar because it removes orbs. It can remove everything on the board, and it can actually waste all of its counters doing that to put the angel into play from his hand, which is what he said itself is pretty good on its own, just for finishing the game.
Yeah. With the ideal thing, what I can do is I can burn you for 4, summon Ripple, but I've only ever done that 3 times.
But it was hilarious.
Oh my god, it was. My younger sister said words that I can't say on this channel.
We'll cut it there. Pretty solid deck. It's really fun to see him play it. He enjoys it. That's at least what he says anyway. And yeah, that's it.